Greetings, everyone, and welcome. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z. No, just joking. This is not Dragon Ball Z, but it might be Shaft. Does anybody feel like we're in the middle of a Shaft intro song? That's how I feel right now. Pretty hip. We're jamming over here. My favorite intro yet. It's only the second intro, you know. Anyway. So, I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope everyone is enjoying their favorite flavors on their favorite vaping device, their favorite mod, their favorite pod. Hope everybody out there is having a great, wonderful, wonderful day, because today is a wonderful day. It is a wonderful day. I'm super, super excited. I don't know if you can tell by the tone of my voice, by the tone, the tone. Come on, guys. It's a good time to be alive, right? So what do we have? What do we have on the docket, on the bulletin board, in the notebook today? Maybe I shouldn't bang on the table like that. Excuse me. So let's begin with my introduction. Who am I? Who am I? Did you not listen to the first episode and the pilot episode? I know they've had like 10 views. You probably didn't. Who am I? My name is Ronnie. I'm the proud manager of Big Chief Vapor Products in Shipment, Louisiana, and I am the amazing author, R.M. Plesha. That's right. The shroud has been lifted. The curtain has revealed me, even though it's just my voice and can't really see me. Maybe we'll move to video one day. We probably won't. I don't know. We'll see how we go with that. Anyway, the proud author of the amazing fantasy series known as The Shroud of Ages. Sold copies worldwide, from Australia to Japan, Canada, United States, everywhere. It's good stuff, guys. It's good stuff. I've sold like 1 or 2 in each of those countries. So what am I vaping on today? I've got a couple of little devices right here. I don't have my mod on me right now. I got a Sky Star, I got a Food Chai, I got old stuff. I don't have any new mods. I haven't bought a mod in a while. I don't know. I don't ask me. I don't get sent free stuff. I'm not like those awesome YouTube reviewers, you know, people like Grim Green, Jay Hayes, you know, those guys get stuff sent to them. Matt, Mike, Fagan. Yeah. I'm not that cool. You know, maybe one day we'll see if the FDA doesn't dismantle this industry in the next 3 months. Maybe we can make it. Maybe we can get China to send us some free stuff, huh? That's a goal if I ever heard one. All right, what am I vaping on today, right now? And we're going to talk about these two guys. We're going to talk about these two guys in the episode. We just got them both in. We are stocked up in the shop. We're stocked up. It's been a hell of a few months, man. Like, seriously, it's been a hell of a few months. We were locked inside for 3 weeks. You know, Raven held down the shop while I was scared shitless, cowering in the corner. You know. But I had to wake up. You know, we went over this in the first episode. We're not gonna touch on it now. This virus stuff's crazy, all right? It's crazy. I don't even know what to think. Does anybody know what to think? Let's not talk about it. So what am I vaping on? Right here, I have the brand new Vaporesso O Small. All right? This is the O Small because it is oh so small. It's it's about a little less than the height, a little less than the height of the palm of my hand. I could pull up some diameters and stuff, but you know, I'd say it's about, what, 47 millimeters tall? No, I don't know. Anyway, it's a nice... Let me take a hit real quick. I don't know if that was audible in there. I don't know if that was audible. But this guy... What pod? That's right. This guy's rocking a... So this little teeny tiny small guy is rocking a 1.2 ohm coil right there. Nice tight mouth to lung. It's like they're almost, you can tell that they're going for that Caliburn type of airflow. They didn't quite get it. But I think they were coming out to compete with the Caliburn. It's a nice draw. It really is a nice inhale. I have the Berry Medley Lemonade from Twist e-liquid in that guy. And that's the salt nicotine. Got some salt nicotine in there. I really can't remember what the milligram. Anyway, onward. What else do I have? I also have the Vaporesso Target PM80 SE. It's a lot of letters, a lot of numbers, but single 18650 single 18650 battery, 80 watts of adjustable power. It comes with a 0.2 and a 0.6 coil, and you can also get a 0.3 coil. It's covering the wattage range from 20 to 60 watts. I don't think they have a coil yet that can go up to 80 watts, even though the mod can go up to 80 watts, but I'm expecting that. I'm expecting that in the future. Why would you make it go up to 80 if you don't have a coil that can go up to 80? Anyway, let's take a puff off the Target. My P's are always hitting the red. Let's take a draw. Let's take a drag off the Target PM80. Now I know you heard that. I can visibly see that on the little Audacity thing there. That is the 0.2 coil, I believe, right? That's what I have. Yeah, I have the 0.2 coil in there. It's technically reading at 0.18. I have it at 42 watts, right below its recommended power of 45 watts. I do that because I like to keep the coil alive a little bit longer, even though it tells me I can go up to 60 watts. I tried it a couple times at 60. It's nice, but I'm perfectly fine with it at 42 watts, right under the 45 to 60, and that's going to make that coil last a little bit longer. Just a little a vape tip right there. So in this guy, in the Target PM80, I am vaping the Double Stuff Fury from Big Chief Vapor Products. I am the proud creator of such a liquid. I made it specifically for myself, and luckily lots of other people like it. Lots of other people love it. I believe it's our number 4 seller at the shop right now, I believe. Maybe it's gone up to number 3. To be honest, we haven't checked those numbers since probably before the whole Corona SARS-CoV-2 stuff. Beautiful flavor. That's the Target PM80 SE single 18650 80 watt adjustable power guy with the Double Stuff Fury at 6 milligrams of nicotine in there. The Double Stuff is it's a familiar sandwich cookie with some cream in the middle right there. That's what it's supposed to symbolize. Got pretty damn close, I must say. All right, so much for the introductions. Let's move on. Let's segue. All right, we're going to move on to some shop notes right now, and we're going to hit it with the segue music. We're not? Never mind. All right, so we're moving on without any segue music. That's quite all right, because, as I said in the introduction, I am super excited that our cases are filled. If anybody's been in the shop in the last 3 months, which you haven't been, because we've had the doors locked, we were embarrassed. We didn't want anybody to see how bad it looked. No, seriously. We opened the doors like, what? It's been about a week and a half, 2 weeks now. And so there's been a few people in and out of the shop since then. You've seen some empty shelves. We've been telling you. We ordered some stuff. It's on the way. These distros are just backed up weeks before they can even get it shipped out. We were waiting 2 weeks to get this order even shipped. And then it took a few days to get here, and boom, bam, shapow. We got it. It's in. It is in the shop. Our shelves are pretty filled up right now. It's not perfect. You know, we couldn't get everything that we wanted to get. There's still a lot of stuff that's out of stock. The weird thing that I've noticed is a lot of the older products are not coming back into stock like we thought they would. I don't know what that means. Because of the Louisiana ATC regulations that we must follow, we are locked into ordering from very few distribution companies right now. We used to have well over a dozen. We are now down to 2, honestly. And whatever they have, that's what we can get. We're doing our damnedest. We're trying to fight against the ATC lava. To go on a quick little side street right here before we talk about the shop. LAVA, the Louisiana Vaping Association, had filed an injunction a couple of weeks ago, and unfortunately, it did not hold up. They are going to appeal it. Sorry. They are going to appeal it. That is in the process of happening right now, but until the ATC gives in to our demands, we're trying to bring in the best product at the best prices for our customers. So until they give in to that, we're stuck with ordering from the places we can order from. So it is what it is. Things like Falcon coils, right? They're super hard to find. Our distro had them. We got a box. That box sold out during this last order. We could not find another box. They were only producing the M1 coils, I believe it was. Maybe it was the M2. None of the other coils were in stock. I don't know if that means these distros are only ordering one set of coil, which doesn't make sense. I don't know why they would just order one type of coil, unless they're planning on these tanks just not being produced like they used to be produced. Or is China just not producing all of their older things? Because what is in stock, what is very, very plentiful at these distros are all of these new products, the PM80s, the O-Smalls, all the stuff we're going to talk about right now, coming up in a few minutes. They're loaded down with all these new products, but they are not getting the older products back in stock. I do not know what that means yet, but if I were to take a guess, China does not want to keep selling people coils for older tanks. They have an opportunity now to just not produce those things anymore, to start fresh, and to get everybody on this new generation of tanks and pods and mods and all that stuff. Because by them giving us what we want, those coils and stuff, because we don't want to buy another tank, we don't want to buy another mod, we just want to keep buying these coils for the tanks that we already have. But that becomes increasingly difficult when they do not come in stock. And maybe they're at other distros. I really don't know. We're locked into the places we're locked into. It is what it is. Like I said, let's move on, because I'm going to wind up rambling about that. That makes me, it upsets me. Let's just say that it upsets me. So let's move on to the shop. And we've got great news. To put it bluntly, we've got reason to be excited, folks. We were closed down for, what was it, 3 months? I think we closed our doors mid-March. We opened them up right before June. I think it was, May 28th, 29th, 30th, somewhere around there. So we've had our doors open for about 2 weeks now, week and a half. And I feel like I said this already. I don't know. Yeah, we got our shipment in, and we're ready to roll. We are ready to roll. What did we get in? We got some products. What kind of products? Like I said, it's not the old stuff that we're used to. Some of it, we got what we could. But anyway, let's just talk about what we got. So we have the Vaporesso O-Small, the guy that we talked about in the beginning. It's comes with a 1.2. It comes with a 1.2 ohm coil. Little bitty guy. I think it costs like $15 or so. So that's that. It's slightly upgraded cousin. I like to think that they're related, even though they're probably not. You know, they don't have the same name. They don't take the same coils. But that's the Vaporesso Extra, little square guy. You know, I'm finding it. Oh, that's what I could do. I could just put pictures of these products on the screen as I talk about them in editing. That's genius. I might keep that in. That's genius. There we go. Boom. That's what we're gonna do. So I don't even have to describe too much. You're gonna be seeing what I see. You're gonna be seeing what I see. So you have the Vaporesso O Small, as you can see. It's a nice little sleek little guy with some carbon fiber little markings on there. Comes with a 1.2 ohm coil that tries to symbolize. It tries to recreate that Caliburn draw. It's a vertical coil, just like the Caliburn was. It tries to hit that turbulent airflow that the Caliburn hit so beautifully. They were the first and only pod to really hit that middle ground between mouth to lung and direct lung perfectly. I would say it's a little bit tighter than the Caliburn and not as powerful as a hit. I believe the Caliburn was firing around 11 watts or so, 12 watts. I feel like this guy's probably 9 watts or so. And then the Extra, that's right, the Vaporesso Extra, as you can see, little square guy. That comes with a 1.2 pod and a 0.8 mesh pod. The 1.2 pod's going to really be for your salt nicotine. You can use regular nicotine in it just fine. Let's talk about that for a second. A lot of people think that you have to use salt nicotine in a pod system because some of these early systems were marketed, some of these early coils were marketed as salt nicotine coils, but you can use any coil you want in it. Any coil. You can use any e-liquid you want. It doesn't, salt nicotine, regular nicotine, propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, your flavoring, your nicotine, that's all propylene glycol or vegetable glycerin based. It's all the same ingredients. The only thing you want to pay attention to, typically the higher the ohm, your 1.2s, 1.4s, stuff like that, they are typically designed for thinner e-liquid. So the holes on those coils where you can see the cotton, it's typically like a little bitty circle. And that's because the 50-50 liquids and stuff like that with salt nicotine and any 50-50 liquid really, it's just thinner. And as it rushes into those coils, it doesn't need these wide open spaces in order to reach the wire at the center. Whereas your 0.8s, 0.6s, 0.4s, 2s, on and on, those guys typically have like square little holes where your those guys typically have square little holes in there where that thicker liquid, your 70-30, your max VG, it's thicker, so it needs more room to rush into the cotton in order to reach that wire at the center. So that's really the only difference you're paying attention to. If you got a 1.2, a 1.4, one of those higher ohm coils, you really don't want to use 70-30 liquid or anything. That's going to be the only reason you don't want to use regular e-liquid, for lack of a better term, in these little pod systems. You can use it just fine. It'll work, but you'll probably wind up burning the coil. So that's really that's where the recommendation comes from. It shouldn't be about nicotine content. It should be about PGVG content. Anyway, moving on. Vaporesso Extra comes with a 1.2 ohm pod and a 0.8 pod. Your 1.2 pod is going to be for your 50-50 liquids. It can handle 60-40 okay. But your salt nicotines, your high nicotines, stuff like that. That's going to be that 1.2 ohm pod. Then you got your 0.8 ohm pod. That guy hits pretty hard. I'm not going to lie. At 12 milligrams, it's quite satisfying. So, and it can handle 70-30 just fine. I tried it out myself. 70-30 works beautiful in it. The 50-50 actually, because we did try one of those 0.8s with a salt nicotine. It did leak. It did start to leak pretty bad. That 0.8 with a 50-50 liquid, I think the holes are just too wide for that 50/50 liquid, and it just gets a little juicy down at the bottom. That it just drip, 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 you know. Anyway, so what else did we get? We got the PM80. We got the Vaporesso PM80. That is the original PM80. It's an internal battery, adjustable wattage of up to 80 watts. Comes with you can use the 0.2, 0.3, and 0.5 ohm coil, I believe. Maybe it's 0.6 ohm coil. I think it's 0.6. It's covering wattage from 20 to 60 watts. I already said that earlier. So you have the original internal battery PM80. Beautiful flavor. Beautiful flavor. You might wind up charging it halfway through the day, especially if you're running it at high wattage and you like to vape a lot, little chain vaping action going on. You're going to wind up changing that coil not changing the coil. You're going to wind up having to charge that battery halfway through the day. That's what I would assume. And because I assumed that, I went with the Vaporesso Target PM80 SE. As I mentioned earlier, the SE, I'm not really sure what it stands for, but it means that it takes a single 18650 battery. That's what it means. I chose that because I was assuming that the internal battery was going to die a lot, and I didn't want to go through charging it all the time. I've already got a couple of pods that you got to do that with anyway. So I just decided we're going to go with the single 18650 battery version, and I'm glad I went with it. But as you can see in the picture, they've got like a little rubbery, leathery, kind of like a pleather type of deal right there. Feels nice, but I'm pretty sure that's a sticker on there. Anyway, it's still nice. Flavor's great. Great flavor on this guy. What other pods did we get? What else do we have? So we were able to get some Novo 2s in. I know those were super popular. Hopefully they're still just as popular. We got a few of those guys in. That's your internal. That's your draw to activate little Novo pod right there. Oh, and that's right. Yeah, the O small and the extra are both draw to activate. The PM80 is going to have a little button that you're going to have to push, just like a mod. I'm pretty sure the PM in the PM80 stands for pod mod. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, the Novo 2 from Smoke, that's going to come out to around $30. And if we're talking prices, I'm just rambling here, aren't I? Am I talking fast? I feel like I'm talking fast. So the O small is going to be $15. The extra is going to be $30. The PM80 is going to be $40. And the PM80 SE is going to be $50. And that is the Vaporesso lineup that we brought into the shop. We brought some smoke products in, some smoke, tech, whatever you want to call them, whatever your name is. We got the Novo 2s. Said that. Draw to activate, $30. Cool little designs on them. We got the Nord 2. We finally got the Nord 2s. They've been out for a while. We couldn't pick any up during this whole pandemic issue. But we got some in there now. Adjustable wattage of up to 40 watts. It's going to work a lot like the PM80, a lot like the Vinci, where you got your pod that you're going to be changing your coils out inside of the pod. You're not just changing the whole pod out. And that's the Nord 2. We also have the RPM Lite. That's your internal battery RPM mod. Adjustable wattage up to, oh man, I want to say it's 40 as well, but I know the RPM goes up to 80, but I'm pretty sure with the Lite it goes to 40. I could be wrong. I'll be showing the picture right about now, and I might be wrong. But both of those guys, the Nord 2 and the RPM Lite, they've got two different types of pods. They have one pod for your Nord coils. You have another pod for your RPM coils. I personally have not tried either one of those devices, so I cannot speak for the draw on them. I can speak for whether or not customers complain. They really don't complain too much about the Novos. The Nord 2s, this is our first time having them. The Nords would leak so bad. I can't lie. The original Nord, everybody loved it. It was one of the better selling pods that we had, but it leaked like crazy. but I guess it was worth it. Hopefully they fix that issue with the Nord too. Time will tell. Time will tell with good old Smoke Smock. I've got a weird, it's not even a relationship, but I've got a weird relationship with Smoke Smock. They make me feel, they're like we're not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna make fun of Smoke Smock. They're a good company. They've given a lot of money to the cause. They want this industry to stay alive as much as anyone else. I cannot shame them for trying as hard as they can to put out as many products as possible to appeal to as many people as possible. And I can't knock them for that. I was about to, though. We got a couple of the Vupu Vincis. That's the internal battery, the original Vinci internal battery, up to adjustable up to 40 watts. I had that guy. I used it for a while. I moved on to the 18650 version, the Vinci X, and I wound up moving away from that one too. Nothing wrong with it. It hits great. Flavor's good. The coils lasted okay. I really don't know why. I think it was, I just didn't like the feel of it. I don't know. I really, really, really enjoyed it. I was in love with that thing, but I haven't touched it in months. But the Vinci is a very, very good system. It really, really is. I was having to charge that internal battery version like at least once or twice a day. That's how much I was using it. That's why I moved up to the 18650 battery version, and yeah, I don't know. Just got old, I guess. As many, many mods and pods do. I've been through too many of them. And like I said, I don't get these things for free. Hint, hint. Let's go. Now, as far as mods go, we brought the entire Aegis family into the shop. From the Mini to the Solo, the Legend and the X, the Zeus, you name it. We've got them all. We went straight Aegis on this order. The tried and true, one of the most trusted mods available on the market. Any of those Aegis mods, they're all included in that list. You can find them all at Big Chief Vapor Products. We got a few tanks in stock. Got a few of the disposable tanks. Got a bunch of the disposable tanks, actually. Got a bunch of the gems, the Freemax gem tanks. We have a bunch of different styles, a bunch of different colors. We got a nice bunch of the Freemax Fire LOUK 2. Got some Falcons, even though we can't find the coils. Got some NRG tanks, the good old NRG from Vaporesso. Another tried and true, compatible with the Baby Beast coils. And we got a couple of guys that just showed up, and I didn't even know about them. The iJoy Jupiter, I don't know what that is. It looks like the Vinci. It looks like the PM80 kinda, like they kind of fused the two together. iJoy's trying to jump into the pod game. They really haven't had a pod that really stuck yet. iJoy's the one company. They're really known for the Captain. I think the Captain really put them on the market, put them on the map in this current market. They had some older stuff. They were popular back in the day, and I can't even remember what the mods were. But they've been around for a while. iJoy's a really good company. Looking forward to learning about the iJoy Jupiter. We also got the iJoy Diamond VPC. That's an older guy. It's been out for at least 2-3 years, I feel like. That was the leader of the pod systems, honestly. I think that was the first thing to call itself a pod mod, and it just never got popular. It just never even left the ground, it feels like. We never picked it up at the shop. I never heard much about it. Nobody requested it. I don't know. We got a few. We'll see how it goes. Got some coils, of course. Got some GT cores, GTX coils. We got the O small, the extra pods. We got, all kinds of pods. Ones that we don't have. We don't have the Falcon. We don't have the Vinci. We might have like a pack of the 1.2s left on the Vinci, but that's it. Couldn't find any of those. Just a couple of pods, pod mods, whatever you want to call them. Got some premium e-liquids in. We got more premium e-liquids. We got a nice line of the Naked 100. Got the Mango, the Peachy Peach. Got the Lava Flow. A couple of more. The Green Blast. Very Berries, Really Berry. I think Really Berry. But yeah, got some Naked 100. We got a few of the Aqua Salt nicotine. We have Aqua, and we got the Pure Ice, and we got the Mist from Aqua Salt. That's the Aqua Salts. Got some disposable, guys. We got some disposables. I know, they're contentious. Some people love them. Some people hate them. We've got the hides. We've got the hides in blue raspberry and strawberries and cream. We also have the IVG in tobacco. And we have the, what was that one? Oh, I forgot what that one was called. From Puff Labs. Puff Labs made a pod. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. But the Puff Labs disposable little guy. We got strawberry and mint. And we got more things. We got some more things too. We got all kinds of stuff. I'm pulling all of this off the top of my head. I do not have the order sheet in front of me. I do not have a list. I'm just pulling all of this off my head because I just got done checking it all in earlier today. So I'm sure I'm forgetting some things. Come on by the shop. Come swing by the shop. See what we got. We'll be putting some of these things online. And yeah, come check us out. Come check us out. It's the name of our shop.com. It's Big Chief Vapors. We're still working on the website. I think it's still having issues. So maybe but we are having slight issues with the shop, with the website. If you are on the website and you're trying to make an order and you're having some trouble with it, give us a call at the shop. Give us a call. We can get you checked out in the shop. Take your address. We'll ship it out ourselves. Just give us a call. 504-407-1881, and then you're going to pick option 1 to go down to the shop, and we will be more than happy to help you with any issues you have on that dreaded website that we're trying to get back up and running. It's trying to be we're gonna make it. It's gonna be good, but for now it's being troublesome. So bear with us. Give us a shout. We'll get it handled. So yeah, that's some of the things that we got. Shop's back open, as I said. Hours expanded officially. We're now open Monday through Saturday, 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And Sunday is still going to be 10 to 5 o'clock. So we're not quite back to the pre-COVID hours, as they say. And to be honest, I don't know if we have to. We were open till like 10 o'clock on certain days. And personally, I think that was a little overkill. But you got to do what you got to do. I don't make the rules. I just follow. But yeah, 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock, Monday through Saturday. 10 to 5 on Sunday. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and make this a short one. There's not too many cuts I have to make. It's going to take me a minute to add the pictures in and stuff. So hopefully I can get this thing uploaded by tomorrow, June 11th. But yeah, real quick, before we wrap it up, I don't have an article in front of me. I don't feel like digging one up to read, but you know what? Let's dig one up to read. Because we want to touch on this real quick, because this is seriously miraculous if it's true, and the more studies that they do, it seems to be more and more valid. The numbers of patients that are going into hospitals across the world with COVID-19, infected by SARS-CoV-2, they were expecting a lot of smokers. But they were seeing far, far lower numbers of smokers that they were expecting to see infected with COVID-19. And in France, Italy, Israel, all over the place, they're starting to do studies on whether or not something in tobacco cigarettes. All right, when's this one from? From May. So yeah, this is from like about a month ago. We got April, May. Yeah, we're gonna go with this one. And yeah, we're gonna read this article real quick about those questions. What's happening? What's going on? We need to know. This is an extremely important topic, and we need to know the truth here. We can't have this truth blotted out by the government. We can't have anyone sheltering this to themselves. We have to let this out. People must know if this is true. So, this is from the Reason Foundation. The Reason Foundation is, I don't know if anybody knows, but they are heavily supported, and they support as well the libertarian movement. Anyway, Reason Foundation. You can find them at reason.org. And this article is titled, Scientists Studying Nicotine's Potential to Treat COVID-19. That's right. Scientists are studying nicotine's potential to treat COVID-19. 2 meta-analyses recently found smokers were dramatically less likely to be hospitalized with COVID-19 than non-smokers. This is crazy stuff, guys. This is really crazy stuff. And we really need to pay attention. We may be ahead of the curve here. Before I get into this article, before I talk too much about it, let me say, so real quick before I get started, my views do not represent the views of Big Cheap Vapor Products. I am just a person reading an article, period, end of story. I am not speaking on behalf of anyone. I am not. No. Anyway, let's roll. From the Reason Foundation. The world is hoping and waiting for a COVID-19 vaccine and treatment breakthroughs. When something is viewed as a potential treatment, we've seen the twists and turns of remdesivir, hydroxychloroquine, favipiravir. That's a weird freaking word. Anyway, favipiravir. Yep. And others garner speedy write-ups and hefty attention. Now, one hypothesis that's raising eyebrows and drawing outright hostility in some quarters is that nicotine could potentially play a role in treating COVID-19. In March, Dr. Konstantinos Farsalinos of the University of Patras examined Chinese data on COVID-19 patients. What he found surprised everyone who cared to look. Smokers were dramatically underrepresented relative to their share of the population. Quote, an unusually low prevalence of current smoking was observed among hospitalized COVID-19 patients compared to the expected prevalence based on smoking prevalence in China, he wrote. In contrast, most public health experts think it's obvious that smoking is a significant risk factor for COVID-19, because that's what they were spouting out in the beginning of all this. Smokers and vapors are at a higher risk of dying when they catch. Come on, let's be real. Anyway, onward. Why wouldn't they? Cigarettes weaken the immune system, raise the risk of respiratory infection, and are the number one cause of preventable death in America. 480,000 people per year. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio confidently asserted that vapors and smokers were at greater risk of COVID-19. Surgeon General Jerome Adams, don't we all love that jackass, asserted that vaping could be the reason why younger Americans were being hospitalized at higher rates than anticipated. Yeah, blame vaping, right? The Food and Drug Administration and the National Institute on Drug Abuse both say smoking could raise the risk of COVID-19. The FDA briefly claimed the same was true for vaping, but quickly backtracked, admitting there was no evidence to back it up. At least the FDA could say that much. NIDA, NIDA, the National Institute on Drug Abuse, NIDA hasn't quite gotten that message. But after looking at the data, Farsalinos concluded smoking wasn't a risk factor for COVID-19 hospitalization. Let's read that again. Farsalinos concluded smoking was not a risk factor for COVID-19 hospitalization. An article in the European Journal of Medicine found the same. In his initial study, Farsalinos raised the hypothesis that nicotine could play a role in reducing the risk of COVID-19. The study received little attention outside the world of tobacco researchers. That soon changed as similar results cropped up in the United States, France, and Germany, all showing smokers to be underrepresented among COVID-19 patients. A quarter of French adults smoke. That's 25% of the population. But a study of COVID-19, I know, that was obvious. But a study of COVID-19 patients in Paris's Petite Salpêtrière, I've tried to say that in the last 2 episodes, I don't think I'm getting it. Petite Salpêtrière Hospital found just 5.3% of daily smokers. So from 25% that smoke in France, only 5.3% of those in the hospital were smokers. On April 22nd, French neuroscientist Jean-Pierre Changau, it's got to be Chango, right? It's Changeux, Changeux. It's like, go Tigers, but there's a Chan in front of it. Jean-Pierre Changeux Tigers. Anyway, that guy made headlines announcing he would be investigating the effects of administering nicotine patches to COVID-19 patients. Here we go again. Changeux published his hypothesis in Quaos. Anyway, it's words that I'm not going to be able to pronounce. Just have fun listening to it, okay? Changeux published his hypothesis in Quaos, positing that the nicotine here we go again. The acetylcholine. There we go. The nicotinic acetylcholine receptor, NACHR, plays a key role in the development of COVID-19. Nicotine could potentially block coronavirus molecules attaching themselves to the receptor, preventing the development of more severe symptoms, says Changeux. What they're saying is that nicotine, they just said it. I don't even have to say it. Nicotine can potentially block SARS-CoV-2 from attaching itself to your ACE2 receptor, therefore either reducing the COVID-19 symptoms or preventing them altogether. This is insane. Farsalinos, for his part, has now expanded on his initial hypothesis with a peer-reviewed paper in the journal Toxicology Reports. Many of those suffering most severely from COVID-19 are victims of cytokine storms. The cytokine storm really made headlines with the 1918 Spanish flu. That's how so many people died during the Spanish flu. It's a storm that basically turns your immune system against you and you drown in your own fluids. It's horrible. Anyway, cytokines are proteins that help organize the body's response against infections. Sometimes this immune system response overreacts, resulting in hyperinflammation and possibly death. Quote, nicotine could maintain or restore the function of the cholinergic anti-inflammatory system and thus control the release and activity of pro-inflammatory cytokines, writes Farsalinos. Quote, this could prevent or suppress the cytokine storm. The paradoxical relationship between smoking and COVID-19 is becoming increasingly hard to ignore. Two meta-analyses recently found smokers were dramatically less likely to be hospitalized with COVID-19 than non-smokers. Nicotine is probably the most demonized and low-status drug in the United States. Many people still mistakenly think it's nicotine that kills 480,000 American smokers every year. Divorced from nicotine smoke, however, nicotine is a relatively benign stimulant with a similar risk profile as caffeine. But the drug's intimate association with cigarettes makes many reluctant to concede it could have any redeeming benefits. Consequently, not everyone is happy that La Diva Nicotina, is that like the devil nicotine? I don't know. Anyway. Consequently, not everyone's happy that, quote, La Diva Nicotina could be the latest conscript in the war on COVID-19. Anti-tobacco groups seem terrified that nicotine could have any positive qualities whatsoever, or at the very least not be characterized as a severe risk factor for COVID-19. The group called Stopping Organizations and Tobacco Products, oh, that's funny. It's actually, the initials are STOP. Great, wonderful, guys. Well, STOP issued what their mind was... Sorry, moving too fast. The group STOP issued what to their mind was a damning indictment on both Pater Salpatiri study and Changeux's hypothesis. STOP claims methodological flaws in the first case and accuses Changeux of having long-standing links with the tobacco industry. They always pull stuff like that out, right? The suggestion that nicotine's relationship to COVID-19 is anything less than catastrophic is enough is anything less than catastrophic is enough to campaign for tobacco-free kids to attack is enough for. There we go. Again, the suggestion that nicotine's relationship to COVID-19 is anything less than catastrophic is enough for the campaign for tobacco-free kids to attack the French research as misleading. The nicotine hypotheses are far from proven, and there are valid critiques of the data researchers are working with. It should be an increasingly high priority to record not just the smoking status of coronavirus patients, but vaping, smokeless tobacco, and use of nicotine replacement therapies. If nicotine is the demon drug some groups claim it is, they should rejoice that scientists are putting their prejudices to the test. Boom. That was written by Guy Bentley. Guy Bentley is the Director of Consumer Freedom Research at Reason Foundation. Bentley's research focuses on the taxation and regulation of nicotine, tobacco, alcohol, and food. It's my man. Let's rock and roll. So yeah, that's that. Nicotine could potentially play a role in reducing or preventing the spread of COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2. It could play a part in weakening this pandemic and helping everyone get back out and live normal lives again. That's why we need to test this stuff. If it's not true, then it's not true. That's why we need multiple groups testing this stuff, especially in America. And I don't think we're doing any tests on this in America. And that's what's sad, is that if they genuinely want to find things, treatments for SARS-CoV-2, if they genuinely want to help people from catching it, why put limitations on what we can and can't test? Just because you feel that it's a bad thing and you don't understand the science of it doesn't mean that we should ignore it and act like it's not even a question of whether or not it'll work. Let's put it to the test. And they're right. They should be happy that we're putting nicotine to this test. It could prove them right. I doubt it, I doubt it. I've done my research on nicotine and they're absolutely correct. It's closer to coffee than anything else. Closer to caffeine than anything else. That's the negativity of it. But if this government or any government wants to find therapeutic therapies, wants to find therapeutics, wants to find ways to help people that have this disease, why are we ignoring anything? I want this research to move forward. I want this research to be expanded. This is an extremely important question. SARS-CoV-2 is not going anywhere. I don't care if people think it's fake. I don't care if people think it's gone. I don't care. It's a thing. It's a virus. And if nicotine can play a part in stopping it, we should accept that, we should study that, and we should move forward with whatever the results are. And that, my friends, that is where we are going to wrap this episode up. We are done. Finito. The end. Over. Let's get with the credits. Anybody can stop listening now if you want to. You want to stick around and listen to the credits, that's awesome. Do you know a vape shop in Louisiana that does not support advocacy? How dare they? How many times do we have to go over this? How many times? You get that vape shop to get in touch with Lava? Just go to lavape.org. You can join up today. Let's get in this fight together. Let's stay united, ladies and gentlemen, in the vaping world in Louisiana. Let's get together. Anyway, are you a consumer that wants to support advocacy, wants to get involved in the fight, but you don't know how? Go join CASA today. That is CASAA.org. Join for free. They'll keep you up to date on all this crazy happenings in this world that we know as vaping. And do you want to try some state famous Big Chief e-liquid. Wanna try some of that double stuffed Fury? Maybe some Gator Milk, that strawberries and cream that's been our #1 seller for years and years. Just get on the Google pages. Get on the Google pages and type in Big Chief Vapors. You'll find our website right on that front page. Go like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter, but we don't get on Twitter much. Like us. Follow us. Come check us out. Do you read? Do you need a new book to read? Well, lucky you. Just Google me. RMPLAISCIA. You'll find my books all on that front page. I write fantasy books, wizards and witches and stuff. Supernatural history. New Orleans kind of evolved into the supernatural history of everything. We're doing crazy things. It's like battle fantasy. It's like a lot of fighting going on, a lot of big battle scenes, a lot of one-on-one fight scenes. You know, I draw a lot of my inspiration from like things like Inuyasha, Dragon Ball, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, you know, wrestling. So it's I don't know what it is. It's fun. It's a fun journey. Come join Reggio as he tries to learn his true identity. He's a vampire who woke up and doesn't remember who he is, doesn't remember his name. Find out. Find out who he is in the Shroud of Ages saga, the Hurricane Journals. I'm rambling. And yep, that's about it. Can't think of anything else. Don't forget, despite all the controversy, if there's even controversy anymore, masks are harm reduction. Wear your mask if you're out and about. There's still a deadly virus going around. We don't want anybody to get sick. You guys stay safe, stay healthy. May peace be the journey. I've been Ronnie. You've been listening to this. Until next time. Who dat?